The gift of life started with a rhythm in my soul. It grew throughout the years, and yet as far as journeys go, I'll never throw in the towel, cause I'm not a man that quits. See, I'm far from perfect, but it's just as good as it gets. It's never been about a world that many want it to be. It's always been observing worth in all the things that you see. Free your greed and clean your conscience up with new understanding. Sometimes in life you gotta roll with the punches, fuck all the planning. Take it for granted, a man can't live off bread alone. Yet the majority of people eating the GM wheat that is grown. I've never known a peace like the one that comes with wisdom. I'll never buy the official version of anything, fuck the system. Wishing victims of brain rot TV programming would stop repeating the contrived lies of some shadow governmental plot. Not like most will listen when someone like Smoke starts to speak. Kicking back and peep, album 7, Simple-Minded Sheep. I give anything to speak direct to your soul, beyond the bullshit bias, government social control. No, instead I'm writing rhymes all by myself, straight from spirit to lyrical while I'm high as hell. Tell me, is it a bitch just to get by? Sometimes I wonder when I am all alone with my thoughts, composing things for you to think on. And it's not like I'm speaking some bullshit language like Klingon. You see, I'm going for broke until your paradigm shatters. No longer looking for a place in life where it is I matter. Scattered bits of information contained in coded language. The tatted edges wasting, the more the loaded game gets. Obviously rigged, tilted table, shameful, more of the same. It's just a product of a plane's proportional strangeness. Blameless only the motherfuckers that need to see a list before they start to realize just how fucked up it is. I know it can be comfortable believing in lies, from science to religion. See, I'm lying all the time, like believing in Obama, Bernie Sanders, and Trump. It's just more of the same, playing you like a chump. Jump back from the fire unless you want to get burned. There's no more useless excuses once your ass is informed that the government profits from fear becoming the norm. It has for the most part. Just look at the TV, the movies, the books, the games, the radio, the CDs. It's bullshit, meant to be violent, shallow, or smutty, with constant apocalypse fear, more mass death coming. It's stunning how much of the shit that people see on the daily and act like it doesn't impact the psychological state. Gee, quite greatly amazing to see them live in denial, like buying new shoes is the same as running a whole mile. Makes sense in a nation run by narcissistic pedophiles. Smile while you can, cause it's bound to start fading once you realize people like Polanski run the entertainment in this country, and the money that they make from the viewer fund some horrible things like the need to procure illicit narcotics, prostitutes, and even children. Your favorite movie hero might turn out to be a villain. Over 1 million people still admire him. Man, it's really killing my soul to see this shit while I'm smoked out just chilling, feeling like I don't need to read some bullshit from JAMA to see the sickness intrinsic in motherfuckers like Nambla. JAMA pizza lover motherfucker in a trash compactor. Actors and directors aren't the only ones involved. Factor in a couple presidents and prominent politicians, police heads, judges, lobbyists, lawyers. Did I mention Jeffrey Epstein and his little Caribbean party? Slowly to express, I guess it's just all too alarming for most people to grasp. That's what's fucked up. We would see justice if only they wanted enough. But I think they don't give a flying fuck about what's right. That's why this country's falling apart, slowly dying from the inside.
Work out
This is not a single thought process in this world that's more toxic than blind faith in politicians or some long dead prophets. Stopping the truisms far beyond, worn the hell out. How many more tithes in Texas will the sheep shell out? To sell doubt is simple in the land of the disillusion, where the only force stronger than decay is mass delusion, confusing people with emotionally charged lies that they speak. The population of the meek, call them simple-minded sheep. Think I understand finally what consumerism means, when a society consumes literally every single thing. Dream death rules everything around me. It's astounding that this whole generation's unaware of their surroundings. Resounding questions like the next one have a taste. Did you know only 24 men have ever been to deep space? That was in the 60s and 70s. So what's the fucking deal? Are they just stealing your money? Tell me, how do you feel? What is real and truly due? Can you really even tell? Or will you buy every cubic foot of fertilizer they sell? Hell, shills to pay the bills, dude. It's the creed they heed. Fuck a flat earth conference, an infinite plane society. They'll lie to me and lie to you any chance that they get, cause that's how Freemasons do, dude. Never fucking forget. I'll bet you know the prophets, be it Muhammad or Carl Sagan. From Eli Wiesel to the steeple where the sheeple are praying, braying like asses and faggots, sickening to watch. Just more domestic propaganda like an episode of Cops. They got Sheldon Adelson's ads trying to demonize Pac, while American missiles wipe out entire city blocks. Hot damn, these motherfuckers got us losing our minds, while countless thousands overseas steady losing their lives. Ask why ISIS never attacks Tel Aviv or Riyadh, cause this whole war on terror is nothing but another fraud. Sunrise, eyes wide, on my way to work, at a place I can't stand, feeling just like a jerk. Word up, and fuck it, I just wanna get paid, see how much I could make, then watch how much they take. Stay struggling, cradle to grave, in just this way, seeking the weekend to do with the same. In just a couple of days, great, the mortgage is late. Bill collectors on the phone, won't leave me alone, can get away, even in my own home. Oh no, the car's broke like a bad fucking joke. Why is it positive progress that just seems so slow? Look out below, drove smoke, keeps my mind from falling into the depths of depression and resting upon the signs I find appalling. All in or all out, the middle ground, it seems so fleeting. With all the poverty, they got the broke bastards competing, eating one another alive just to keep their heads above water. Keeps us living like paupers, unprepared for the slaughter. New world order. If you never been broke like me, then you never lost hope like me. I tell you life's a bitch. If you ever get broke like me, then you're gonna lose hope like me. I tell you life's a bitch. If you ever been broke like me, then I know you lost hope like me. I tell you life's a bitch. If you never been broke like me, then you never lost hope like me. I tell you life's a bitch. Cold nights, hold tight, don't let the struggle break you. There's no one else on earth that'll ever fucking save you. With shame, you still contribute to the system with your taxes. I'm asking, did you know Carl Jung worshipped Abraxas, a being Gnostic's claim to rule over all creation? Sounds like more bullshit to test my motherfucking patience. Disinfo agents making statements you can never verify, but when it's time to drink the Kool-Aid, I'll bet you're there to die. Or where the eye of Sauron is always focused upon us, as I try to test the edges of my current preponderance. My tolerance for deception is right down to nil. I got no time for lies. When I'm just paying the bills, I'd say that I'm thrilled to exist and know life. But when I think about it, yo, that's just a fucking lie. I'd rather die than live my whole life as a fraud, spending dimes rather than time on the money that is my God. Y'all motherfuckers ain't broke like me. Y'all motherfuckers don't smoke like me. I tell you life's a bitch. Y'all motherfuckers sound like jokes to me. Be a real man like you supposed to be. I tell you life's a bitch. If you ever been broke like me, then I know you lost hope like me. I tell you life's a bitch. If you never been broke like me, then you never lost hope like me. I tell you life's a bitch. This is thought process progress, trying to expand my mind, because it's not just a machine that can read between the lines. What is time but another construct to divide our existence, when in reality it makes not a single fucking difference. Intrinsic to all life is the ability to breathe, the requirement of sleep, and the ability to dream. What it means won't be found in the system of physicalism. Comfortable living is the prison of perpetual victims, not to mention the intention of those running the show that got them looking for Bigfoot, watching for UFOs. Let it go, lest a lie said 1,000 times becomes the truth. I swear to God, most of you motherfuckers don't even have a clue. Watch them skew my views like some dumb political grist for Gavin McGinnis. Fuck Milo Yiannopoulos, disgusting pricks kicking shit like their name was Alex Jones. They making thinking people into little Republican drones. Fuck both parties, but more importantly, fuck AIPAC, fuck the Saudis, fuck the Podesta group, pedo rat slap politically correct culture right in his face. See, they wanna cut meals on wheels, but got money for outer space. What a waste of fakes cage the minds of all but the astute. Still see the sheep holding their breath till their faces turn blue, but the Jews in Hollywood still got them dreaming of Mars. See, predictive programming like Futurama's got them starred. Call me conspirator because these dumb cunts got nothing better. So you can take that two-ball cane and shove it sideways forever. They think they're clever cause you turned into one of their fans, a college-educated trans, pansexual, pseudo-intellectual man. The plan to break the masses has gone off without a hitch. Got between acting a bitch and being obsessed with getting rich. Shit's beyond crazy degrading. Oneself has become the norm. A nation of goyim destroying itself with drugs, consumerism, and porn. Warned 100 times, but like a fool you never learn. Even when someone told you playing with fire will get your ass burned, but you spurn advice. Instead you think you know it all. Like, let me be a tool, I've got Google. Problem solved. Bald-faced lies promoted by multi-billionaire swine that openly brag about how they can mold your whole mind. From the time you're a child, they separate you from truth. Spoon-fed the Disney propaganda till you're old enough for school. Nothing but state-sponsored brainwashing, cult programming, subjective math, drugs, and mass malnutrition. Expanded the famine from the mind and body to the core of your soul. Materialistic atheist agenda got them feeling lower than low. I know sometimes it's easy to just go with the flow, but that's the cop out of a lazy brain slave to the dough. No code and mystery. History shows what wealth begets. A sick complacence in the people who slave away no regrets. You got it in the narrative, yeah, you know the one where they say Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction, where the bullets and bombs spread freedom and peace, and the youth ain't getting killed by police in the street, where the war on drugs is more than a war on us, and elections ain't something that only morons trust. Lust for power is real, it doesn't care if you're blind, because your money spends the same too, just fucking fine. Lines of coke and hoes, the shallow shit they promote. You think the rappers on the radio really sell dope? No, so grow the fuck up, because it's all an illusion. Intellectual aspartame leaving brains in states of confusion, using lies like the president, the prime minister, the pope, Congress, the senate, parliament. It's all a fucking joke. If you're broke, what's a bullshit loaded slogan like hope? I'm hoping the hoax is becoming more apparent daily. That's why trying to get your ass to join the fucking Navy. The empire growing overseas, 'tis at the seams, leaving the masses panicked in a state of emergency. You work to be able to just scrape by and exist, all to have it taken away by some governmental pricks, getting rich off the rest to put food on their table. And you call it like it is, then your ass gets terrorists, label conspiracy theorists, cause they don't wanna fucking hear this. Rather see the president's late night talk show appearance. Just ignore the wars, economic collapse, near and no fear it. Watch more of them TV shows, it'll all go away later. Wake the fuck up, Edward Snowden's no goddamn traitor. You cater to those that exploit you to not rock the boat. How about your ass smoke? Why I don't want to vote. Stolen land, it's sad, the troops are moving and doing what they're told the ghost controls, so they'll kill the fucking proof. Stupid animals is what Kissinger called them. Bad decisions, politicians living like Joseph Stalin, calling all the shots in the Soviet states of America. While news spews lies, time to maximize, scaring you unaware of the blowback the propaganda's birthing. Who can afford to retire? Till I'm dead, I'll keep working. Surging lights in my house, the weather's cold outside, but I gotta rap, I'm still grateful for the ride. Life is short, but the wisdom can't last forever. Even if they try to kill it, like the death of Medgar Evers. Better think about it now, as the sands are running out. The news is telling you that the chemical trails are clouds. In a crowd allowed to speak, only when the speech conforms to a societal discourse that's considered to be the new norm. Horns of evil speak through people, where a lie becomes God. So just call me heretic while I destroy your facade. Watch the hash bubble, smoke's rising a little higher. Then you feel your mind lighten as your day gets brighter. Fire nugs a bud, or all that's in my sack. Cause I ain't bought swag since I was a teenager, Jack. So go back to your dealer, grab something a little better. Then we'll smoke both a bowl with my sticky purple cheddar. Forever the deadheader, keeping calm through the storm that's been trying to break you down since the day you were born. Torn between activism and just giving the fuck up. Cause it's not like most to listen unless I'm rapping about blunts. Frontin' ain't my style, so I don't have many fans. But I still like smoking weed, so I gotta make these jams. Damn, I use for fools with a Bible in their hands. Cause I don't believe the evil comes from smoking some plant that expands the perspective of a narrow-minded slave until he's free from the group think, actually using his brain. Yo, let's go half a half on the fat hash bowl, and we can chief it all night long on my name ain't smoke. See, life can be hectic as expected, you know. So just relax for a minute, let your heart be slow. No hydro, we smoke only, but it comes from the earth. And I'd rather roll a doobie truly than be stuck up in church or any other institution that distracts from being human. Cause the world that most are living in is nothing but illusion. I could smoke a bowl every hour of every day, but what would that prove beyond my lungs being stained? Nothing. Cause even my weed raps ain't just about weed. Listen to cheap wine and doobies or stems and seeds. I need meaning in my music, or it's just a fucking waste. I never use flavor papers cause I like how weed tastes. Fake space is pathetic, but the dumbasses buy it. Even I used to believe before the evidence was provided by the tightest content creators, men like Eric Dubé. 200 proofs the earth is not a spinning ball in outer space. A case is airtight, hair's still yet to be presented, but still the sheep will just mock and walk on, pretending that they evolved monkey men, spinning in 4 different directions at 4 different speeds. Like there's not a crazy contention, the ending of this lie arrives when the people let go of the heavy mental baggage, get together and smoke. Yo, let's go half and half on the fat hash bowl, and we can chief it all night long on my name ain't smoke. See, life can be hectic as expected, you know, so just relax a minute, let your heart be slow. No hydro, we smoke only, but it comes from the earth, and I'd rather roll a doobie truly than be stuck up in church or any other institution that distracts from being human. Cause the world that most are living in is nothing but illusion.
true nature of the universe will certainly challenge the perceptions of most people, the emerging wisdom of spiritual science has rendered the atheist materialist paradigm extinct. Consciousness, life, the beautiful diversity, complexity, and interconnectedness of nature and the universe are not the result of some random, coincidental physical phenomenon. The odds against our universe containing the precise physical forces and attributes necessary to sustain life is 1 octillion to 1. In other words, there is only a 1 in 1 octillion chance that the universe was unintelligently designed. So if there is an intelligent designer, a creative force beyond all space, time, and matter, what are the properties of this entity? Theologists and metaphysicians throughout history have agreed that this intelligent creative force must, by definition, be all-knowing, omniscient, all-powerful, omnipotent, and all-present, omnipresent. Furthermore, by definition, if God, an omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent being exists, then we all must be a part of it. Either God is causal, singular, and separate, an outside entity somehow responsible for his own existence, the creation of the universe, and the creation of other beings to recognize him, or existence is non-causal, plural, parts and whole of all that is, with nothing outside us, because we are all infinite, self-reflexive pieces of God, interacting, changing, acting out eternity. Many people are happy to accept the notion that God is some external entity like a bearded white man in the clouds who created us and watches over the universe like a cosmic fishbowl. Others are happy to accept that there is no God and the universe, consciousness, life, matter, space, and time are all the result of a random, spontaneous Big Bang accident. Personally, neither of these ideas have ever resonated with me, and both are relatively modern. If instead we consult the most ancient culture and the oldest texts in recorded history, the Indian Vedas, a very different story presents itself. Roger Stevens wrote, "Here's a parable, an analogy, which comes from India, from the Upanishads, and is thousands of years old. It presents a parabolic answer to the root question of all religion and philosophy. Who am I, and what is this? And does so in a way which everyone can relate to. In the beginning of the world, and though it probably had no ultimate beginning as we think of them, you have to start somewhere, there was only Brahma. Being all there was, and therefore totally known to himself, Brahma soon realized that this totality of awareness would eventually become extremely boring. After all, when you know everything there is to know, then there's no surprise, nothing to keep you interested. It's like reading the same book for the 78 millionth time. Anyway, since he was omnipotent, all-powerful, omniscient, all-knowing, and omnipresent, all-everywhere, Brahma decided to create a diversion for himself, a way of introducing the elements of surprise, intrigue, and drama into his experience. He thought, what would it be like to forget who I really am? So he invented the game of cosmic hide-and-seek. According to the rules of this game, Brahma would pretend to break pieces of himself off from the whole so that to all appearances they would seem separate. That's the hide part. Then, as the apparently separate consciousness at the center of each of those apparently separate pieces, and through their apparently separate and unique perspectives, he would seek to rediscover who he really was, which was, of course, everything. Imagine seeing yourself from an infinite number of different perspectives, each one initially ignorant of its relationship to all the rest. Imagine going to sleep and dreaming a different lifetime each night, each lasting for more or less years, each complete with the full range and variety of emotional life and death details. Imagine having the same dream, but playing a different role in it each night, seeing it through different eyes each time. Well, guess who those apparently separate pieces are? Since there is only one I am in the universe, one consciousness, it's all a game of hide and seek, and each one of us is in the same state. I'm it, and you're it.
Smoother than a velvet tongue, like comes to the lips of some elitist psychopath that's trying to take your shit. He makes your kids believe in falsities while getting praised as God. Welcome to America Land, based on a Masonic fraud. Watch him applaud like Jerry Springer for an innocent's death. Now multiply by 1,000,000 and this country's all that's left. Spreading meth around the world through biker gangs and the feds. Not a war on drugs, a war on us, that's what it is instead. The dead and dying, lying in hospital beds every day. And medical malpractice kills more than cigarettes anyway. Any day that we change it, there'll be conformists aplenty, acting like the chains we just shrugged off were really tempting entry to a higher echelon of social insanity, reserved for nerds doomed to consume the mental depravity. I had to see the darkness that was right outside the door, and now I've steeled myself, no fearing dead anymore. Fuck the fake personas of all the rappers who act. The whole robotic, Masonic, hypnotic propaganda's a trap. So many people buying the lies rather than dealing with facts. Because if they were, they'd be given the TSA and answer the acts. I'd rather yo ass be reading than even bumping this track. I'm so hated by the chosen, call me Yasser Arafat. Crepuscular rays gives heliocentrism a smack. Even your own perspective will prove the earth's flat. Imagine that. Never trapped again by the same circle of logic. Globular prophets, Masonic hobbits, or a food that is toxic. Fiber optic cable stretching all over the world. But you still believe satellites are real. My lip curls in a sneer. The veneer of honesty on a throne of lies. While trap rappers acting like they're willing to kill or die. Why lie when most people know it's all a facade? Still so many choosing illusions over the truth in its eye. Need no apply. Santa Claus and Mickey Mouse religion. A bunch of shallow materialists feeding the system, filling up the hearts of men with nothing but grief. Because the greatest form of control is blind faith-based belief. Speak the truth, dude, or truly speak not at all. You're not in the Milky Way, your ass is not on a spinning ball. Calling it as it is doesn't make me pessimistic. Not that most of the population would even know the definition. Fuck the fake personas of all the rappers who act. The whole robotic, Masonic, hypnotic propaganda's a trap. So many people buying the lies rather than dealing with facts. Cause if they were, they'd be given the TSA and answer the acts. I'd rather yo ass be reading than even bumping this track. I'm so hated by the chosen, call me Yasser Arafat. Crepuscular rays gives heliocentrism a smack. Even your own perspective proves the earth's flat. Imagine that.
Imagine that. Dubé steps on your track. Takes your chill vibe, breaks its spine, cracks his neck, kills your last verse like Revelation's crimes in church, drinks all your communion, eats your preacher for dessert. Metaphorically, of course. You can't take this shit as literal. Jesus even said himself that he only ever spoke in parables. Incredible that there could ever be people who read the whole Bible and think that it's literal, but it's inevitable when the regrettable read about Jesus and think that he's edible. So eat your communion, you literal cannibal. Virgins are birthing in mangers with animals. Jonah is living inside of a whale and they're letting old Barabbas out of his jail because the snakes are all talking and people are walking on water while turning it into some wine. Then the bushes start burning and talking and telling humanity 10 things they shouldn't be doing. You gullible morons are probably still thinking you live on a ball that is wobbling, tilting and spinning through space many miles per second because Freemasons said so, and so you believe it and couldn't conceive that you might be deceived by the very same people that gave you your preach. So you're probably not feeling this cognitive dissonance triggering Christians and lawless believers, bitch.
Fuck the fake personas of all the rappers who act. The whole robotic, Masonic, hypnotic propaganda's a trap. So many people buying the lies rather than dealing with facts. Cause if they were, they'd be given the TSA and answer the acts. I'd rather yo ass be reading than even bumping this track. I'm so hated by the chosen, call me Yasser Arafat. Crepuscular rays gives heliocentrism a smack. Even your own perspective proves the earth's flat. Imagine that. I'm tired of waiting every day, straight praying for change, but just like hope, it won't do shit until you gain the insight to do something, not for profit or fronting, but just because it's the right thing to do. The discussion is why we here. To fuck, fight, and consume, or to understand each other before our bodies are doomed to the ravages demanded by a stay in the matrix through audio, visual, hallucinated sensations, elation at only the least important of topics, while the Federal Reserve turns out your holy profit-driven logic that kills your empathy. That's why the DHS considers smoke a domestic enemy, a threat to the status quo that grows all around us. That's why they'd rather lock me up than contend with this profoundness. Allowance for contradictions truly must be eschewed, unless you're comfortable being another faceless part of the group. Tired of the bullshit, I'm tired of the lies, tired of the wars, the troops going off to fight, tired of the death, just like I'm tired of the tears, and I'm tired of this forsaken nation that thrives off fear. What more can I do? What more can I say? Every semblance of logic has already gone away. That's just the way the powers that be want it to stay. Tired of waiting every day, straight hoping for change. Change will never come from just staying the same. It's like sitting on your ass and expecting to lose weight. Stay the goal and meet it, and don't let it be defeated. Positive progress only comes to those that truly see it through to the end. Never break or just bend. Be like water, weather all of the obstacles, and then you'll be level as your thoughts and actions are synchronized, unperturbed by all the Judas goats that are teaching lies. Realize that most are just living to do what they're told. Deleterious weariness creates a lack of control, so they become victims of informational prisons, confirmational visions, changed by political minions or religious systems that say they keep us from sinning. But what is sinning but rebellion against a dogmatic engine? Honor and order aren't bad until they try to conform us. I'm tired of the obstinance, dude. You heard the fucking chorus. Tired of the bullshit, I'm tired of the lies, I'm tired of the wars, the troops going off to fight, I'm tired of the death, just like I'm tired of the tears, and I'm tired of this forsaken nation that thrives off fear. What more can I do? What more can I say? Every semblance of logic has already gone away. That's just the way the powers that be want it to stay. So you might want to stand up and do more than just pray. This the one and only Smoke, man. A motherfucker's tired, but I ain't ever gonna give up. Peace. Man, I wish that things were different. Fuck the system, television. Got them living like they minions in deleterious conditions. Mass division schism is the algorithm employed because a fractured populace is quite easily destroyed. Enjoy it while you can because the rent is coming due. We're the ones that run the system, finally drop the ugly truth. Looking up at the sky, dreaming of a life in the stars. These motherfuckers got you trapped in a cage without bars. Listen, sometimes they don't need you in chains when the prison system just exists within your brain. Say it plain, I'll explain how the manipulation works. See, the machinations got you waiting, begging for a purge. Words that hurt the thoughts in etymological circles, from spelling your words to being entranced by their commercials. Verbal components are always showing how they align. Quite ironic how Verizon is Veritas plus Horizon, defying the odds. The God that they worship is power. Controlling the mind is worth more than 1,000 twin towers. Showered in propaganda through every screen that you own, through print media, music, but to most through your phone. But you don't think even a single thing of it. Like big business or governments give a fuck for the public. Discussion of anything can be a bitch to get started, but at least you know you can count on Smoke to smash that fucking garbage. Man, I wish that things were different. Fuck the system, television got them living like they minions in deleterious conditions. Mass division schism is the algorithm employed because a fractured populace is quite easily destroyed. Enjoy it while you can because the rent is coming due. We're the ones that run the system, finally drop the ugly truth. Looking up at the sky, dreaming of a life in the stars. These motherfuckers got you trapped in a cage without bars. Sometimes I wonder if it's really fate or serendipity that has led me down the path free of intrinsic indignity. I'm sick of the foolish shit people repeat all the time, like just sit down, shut up, and you'll get along just fine. It's high time to stop letting the whims of others dictate and create a state of hate you can't really articulate. Outrage becomes selective as was their intention. When you wake up to the system, man, it really seems demented. What's presented to the public is so far divorced from facts that the shit the sheep repeat sounds like literal trash. The hacks in the CIA have decades of practice with former regime change, contrived political clashes. Now that it's back home on American soil, it's even easier than selling wars for trade routes or oil. The spoils of a country can easily be divided. When the civil conflict starts, just watch them fucking incite it. Man, I wish that things were different. Fuck the system, television got them living like they minions in deleterious conditions. Mass division schism is the algorithm employed because a fraction populace is quite easily destroyed. Enjoy it while you can because the rent is coming due. We're the ones that run the system finally drop the ugly truth. Looking up at the sky, dreaming of a life in the stars. These motherfuckers got you trapped in a cage without bars. These motherfuckers got you trapped in a cage without bars. These motherfuckers got you trapped in a cage without bars. We live in a world where the illusion of force is a high-powered weapon for informational wars. And the course of our society is shaped by the people with the most to gain from lies that are willing to be deceitful. Like it's okay to lie for some cause you say is good. Moral relativism getting pushed more than it should. Would you recognize the lies that they spew on demand? The Black Lives Matter is a George Soros brand? Damn, did I just say that? You bet your fucking ass, because I'll call out your division, race, religion, and class. Cash fact is way. I mean protesters for the news, from alt-right to anti-fascist action to contrive your views. You really think the race war is in this people's hearts? It's not at all. Some ass manipulations turned into an art until they got you whatever shit right from they fucking script, because you let the culture bubble turn you into its bitch. Glitches running through the matrix as the time rolls on. Who actually believes North Korea wants Guam beyond comprehension? The kind of shit that you'll believe, like Trump being a Nazi when he really bows to Tel Aviv. The thought police are actually the reflections in the mirror. See, my flow's too fire. You can grab some aloe vera, cause I'm not stopping till you want more than a pair. You want punchline rhymes, go bump on me other pharaohs. I'm not that shit, rather be sincere with you than cool, cause smoke won't be the persona of some fat-headed fool. Accruing cash fast, but dropping not a bit of fact. I'd rather pull the pin on my own grenade and play catch the match wits with half-wits with names like Bobby Ray, rockin' auto-tuner, singing shit that sounds straight gay. I'll say it plain, B.O.B.'s another distraction for the sheep. More Russell Brand, dealer tequila, psychobabble speak. People need to wake up before they make another Alex Jones and take this new world order further down the rabbit hole. Drones used to be hated, now nobody seems to care, but somehow shit in Charlottesville's supposed to have me scared. I dare a single one of you to ask someone from Iraq if America's biggest issue is racism against blacks, whites, or whatever. I guarantee you'll get slapped upside your dumb motherfucking dome by some real serious facts. This war on terror marches on to its 16th year, a war that's not supposed to end. Are we finally crystal clear? What's too dear to be stolen away by war? Nothing. So if you don't at least stand the fuck up and say something, it's coming either way, but at least you can be honest. Not like the next world war has gotta be atomic fire. Bomber can do just fine without the splitting of atoms. Sometimes the truth is less complex than you could ever imagine, motherfucker. The thought police are really you and me when we let contrived narratives be what we believe. Peace. The beats that move the masses come from masses and stew. So through the groove do you speak. The art of music, fluid in nature, it's like the water of life. That's how it cuts through language, religious systems and pride. I like the way the music is an expression of thought, crafted sound of silence into something violence won't stop. No plot, no blocks, just trying to bring people together around common interests, like not having cultural battles, letting tethers go. They do nothing but keep us divided, that they weave the screen with propaganda. Don't buy it, no war will ever be in the general public's best interest. But nearly everyone that preaches love is on a government hit list. It's sick shit, but this is the country I live in. And until we change ourselves, we're never gonna change the system. Better living is my mission, need to relax more and breathe, because only a man at peace can ever live life free. An artist outsmarting the garbage targets the media. Harvest the garment, the smoke, because I flow like fumes that drove from your apartment. Disarmament, the farthest foes, the pros are close to fruition. Between my lines, skill, no will could be. Living this shit, I'm sensing a conflict struggle born into the hearts of men. Whether to believe or ever to really truly know when you don't have all the answers. No, not even most of the basics, like how we create facts out of anecdotal statements. I see the simple-minded sheep getting told what to think through the music, games, movies, and the TV screen. I mean, how many people listen and actually think America's free? It's a joke, so cope with anything you can drink, smoke, or breathe. Like it'll do something other than read more of the same. We live in a land revoking liberty in liberty's own game. The days aren't growing shorter, you're just growing old and getting tired, exhausted from waiting for some ever-expected messiah. When the fire grows higher, the liars will let you down. Between the pseudoscience, religion, political system, merry-go-round, astounded now by all the bright lights, the glitz and the glamour. But like living in Hollywood, soon you're not so enamored. No stammer, no stutter, woulda uttered before the book shut. So much is made up for pay stubs, it's time to wake up. It's dumb luck or providence that we're still aware enough to see. So take advantage of it and just stand up with me. We bleed red, but instead of rallying around that, we're divided. Attempts at so-called racial division through media mouthpiece incitement. Indictments against Hillary aren't coming anytime soon. You'd have an easier time believing NASA went to the moon than assuming the feds would arrest one of their own. Just another day of Stasi jackboots at America's throat. This country wrote its own death warrant a long time ago. See, it's written in its beginning, but none of the sheep know. So they keep on working, buying more consumer goods. No question for authority like a good American should. Understood as the general death of our bastard culture based upon slavery, murder, feeding on corpses like vultures. Sculptures of famous masons adorn the streets of the capital, where the political slime look down on us like we're animals. Actual truth is in dire need for those who seek a way to live life as more than just simple-minded sheep. They live, we sleep, so we try to ignore it by coveting fancy things and wishing we could afford it. Abortions used as a way to sell body parts and stem cells. There's not a single part of this country that doesn't resemble hell. Fuck a burning pit of magma, it's just a kingdom of evil that relies upon applied approval of its sheepish people. The human body is truly the most sacred of temples, so they poison it, controlling the God mental through symbols is simple. Why the fuck are you still sitting? How long will a politician get the green light to kill him, stacking up another victim? Why the fuck are you still sitting? How long will a politician get the green light to kill him, stacking up another victim? You better watch your words, cause the people observe. There ain't a thing you fear more than the revenge of the herd. See, some are stuck up in church, others searching for curve, but they won't feel the fire until they're already burned. Some have learned how you've been gaming, tampering with the news. Media muscle to hustle views of seemingly different hues. Time to choose, cause the people like me know the truth, and we ain't gonna stop until your house of cards is through. I wish that money was the worst thing they were taking from us, but on your soul and mind they dying, feeding off of your trust. Cause you must be brought to heel before you can be exploited. Change the name from wage slavery to gainful employment. You can't avoid it if you give even the slightest of fucks, and you follow the money trail to press the bank and the buck. Such is life, right? Sometimes I really have to wonder if there's any way to truly end the sheepish slumber. Cause thunder and missiles sizzling dead flesh don't seem to cut it, and the US empire needs fresh earth and abundance to grow slowly, feeding on, carry on like a vulture. Kinda makes me think of the sort of people that run our culture, when civilian casualties are nothing but collateral damage, and we're so callous that there's no outrage for them to manage. So cameras shift onto some other distraction, so nobody panics on the sinking ship that they're trapped in. You better watch your words, cause the people observe. There ain't a thing you fear more than the revenge of the herd. See, some are stuck up in church, others searching for curve, but they won't feel the fire until they're already burned. See, some have learned how you've been gaming, tampering with the news. Media muscle to hustle views of seemingly different hues. Time to choose, cause the people like me know the truth, and we ain't gonna stop until your house of cards is through. Why the fuck are you still sitting? How long will a politician get the green light to kill him, stacking up another victim? Why the fuck are you still sitting? How long will a politician get the green light to kill him, stacking up another victim? Why the fuck are you still sitting? How long will a politician get the green light to kill him, stacking up another victim? Why the fuck are you still sitting? How long will a politician get the green light to kill him, stacking up another victim? Watch your words, cause the people observe. There ain't a thing you fear more than the revenge of the herd. You better watch your words, cause the people observe. There ain't a thing you fear more than the revenge of the herd. You better watch your words, cause the people observe. There ain't a thing you fear more than the revenge of the herd. You better watch your words, cause the people observe. There ain't a thing you fear more than the revenge of the herd. Bitch. puffing on a blunt, I got a spring in my step, cause I ain't had a single bad thing happen yet. And I'm set to go kick it, smoke a bowl with my friends. And there's just a sample of how my day begins. Let me spin a little tale of life finally gone right. I rose before the sun, coffee, breakfast, and a weed pipe. Indeed, life feels like everything is all cool. Yeah, I'm talking real knowledge, fuck that crap you learn at school. The truth is all I'm hearing when I turn on the news. Everyone I hear's espousing completely consistent views. Too good to be true, my girl ain't in a bucket. Not even a single junkie on my street making ruckus. The sun is amazing, blazing high with a light morning breeze. And if I think about it hard enough, I can smell weed, the trees are shaded green. Even deeper than bud. Into the homie's house, we roll up, smoking some blunts. Not once in the next few hours do we ever stop chiefing, talking over life. What is the root or the meaning? How the government's deceiving, but nobody believes them. I turn the radio up, hear much more than a feeling. It's appealing, but I'd rather let my stereo thunder. So I pop the disc and rock murder by numbers. The summer afternoon resonates with the rhythm, and I drive slowly home in a more than slightly stoned condition. Ignition off, no shoes, socks, got my feet on the grass. Grab a little bowl of salvia from deep in mustache. Lick the lighter, getting higher till I'm not even here. I'm just a microcosm of totality, it's actually weird. A couple minutes later, I'm talking about it, laughing and such. Sharing a bowl with my girlfriend, probably yelling too much. Until the sun starts to set, we get dinner supreme. Then I start choking my eyes open, man, it was just a dream. I'm getting high by the minute, smoke expanding my lungs, cause I'm in it till I'm finished. And the roach is out and done. One is fun, but then two can be oh so much better. Like psychedelics, I'm telling you to do them instead of the powders and pills that pharmaceuticals swill. Cause you'd rather expand your mental horizons and just chill. Fill the void in your heart with the knowledge of self, and gain much greater empathy for me and everyone else. The wealth of wisdom that comes from facing your ego and your own mortality can really help you to indeed grow. Be free, yo, no need for posture and acting cool. They say only the wise man realizes he's a fool. Is it true, or is it just another twisted perspective? The entire control grid only exists because we let it. Intrepid people lead to equal shares of wage slavery. Conservative or liberal, it's all nothing but the same to me. Complacency creates chains like crossing a flag that'll have thousands coming home in fucking body bags. To say my weed raps get just too damn political. Our sponsors use more than just your dirty occipital lobe, yo, though most just get offended rather than take back the culture and actually defend it. Instead, it's a steady stream of misinformation daily, where a populace is way too scared to even think of facing the Masons replacing universal truth with some cheap lies, as there's no chance they'll ever see the meek rise. To seem wise is easy when most are stuck in a fantasy, a fallacy of galaxies, another tapestry of apathy, rapidly expanded into a matrix of limitation that creates a population of free-range mental patients, a nation of Goyim getting bled dry and controlled. Yo, fuck Benabarith and mad props to Mad Cole. Peace. Time's ticking, getting shorter, reaching every passing day before your heart stops beating, so there's no time to waste. Nowadays, everyone's afraid to make a political statement, but I'm so underground, they say I dwell in a basement. How quaint then that I don't know, am I retarded? Just cause I don't buy the shit with which we get bombarded. I'm charging that with power comes inevitable corruption, set your clock to it. That's how humanity functions. They say we're stuck in a cycle of psychological abuse between the master masons and the Zionist Jews, who knew people get pissed when you refer to them as chattel, almost like we don't enjoy being dehumanized and saddled with debt in different forms, from the usury and lies of Muslims killing themselves for some castle in the sky. Why are we all fucked up, codependent and despondent, like with the fractured pieces of the true God conscience? The nonsense like religion just creates an apparatus to push appeal to authority. You see what happens from government, science, secret orders, and social groups. That's how they got you praying, waving flags for the truth. Shoot straight, it's too late to ignore what's going on. But Netanyahu's little grab with a picture of a bomb, like Iran is gonna wipe them off the motherfucking map. The ADL calls you bigoted if you disagree. It's a trap backed by billions every year in American aid. The USS Liberty is how we get repaid. I'm unafraid to call it how it is. I'd rather be mocked than be a sheep, patiently waiting for another moonwalk. So shocked when I watch how automatons behave, how they repeat the same shit from films like Independence Day. Wage slaves that believe in a million different lies. Now understand that the prison planet exists within your mind. Only the blind can't see the information of war. I used to do the news for years, now I'm telling you the score. All the whores in the media, not one single scruple. You see the dupes of light and they motherfucking pupils. Tutelage for free, I got my YouTube degree and a home library that'll make them more free. The apathy is tragically infecting all of the gore until these Isle motherfuckers got the West destroyed. Multicultural poison killing every society, but so's the drive right-wing reactionary sing thing for a moment, who's playing ethnic groups against one another and every major religion too. Why does quantum physics closely mirror Kabbalah? And why is it every time some conscious rapper hollers at the cameras that they sound just like social justice? Supposedly smart dudes are still stuck on some dumb shit. Fuck it, I can't pretend I'm not on another level from the majority of MCs that honestly have been settled for the money the skill can make rather than true progression. Incentive to illustrate what they observe with words, reflection upon a situation. Can't create and understand it. True change never comes with protesting or demanding, but planning boycotts, not buying certain products. These Israeli motherfuckers working overtime to stop it. I'm not a prophet or a sage, just a man who's had enough watching all of us people getting railroaded rough, such as what one expects from a nation full of cunts, where I'd really be surprised to see the people stand up once. Yes, the end of the line, forever all time, the curtain's final call, the shadows flickering back and see the writings on the wall. I watch it fall, it's all leading to the very same place where I was before my birth, a darkened blank space, chasing thoughts of yesterday away, accepting my fate. No more fear of unbecoming, for there's no way to escape. Death takes every being from the banquet to the bum and shows the commonality, eventually every single one. And some will speak about ways in which they are different, and how the belief system will keep them forever living. Though it isn't, it won't, it can and it don't. You can laugh past the graveyard and cling to foolish hope. No, life's greatest contrast is truly found in death. Breath is stills, fire it kills as we pay back our debt. Freely given and freely taken, swaying on a summer breeze. While life is nice, some might think our lives are different than leaves on the trees. One day they're here, the next they wither and die. Every hour glows, ashes rose and flooded to the sky. No reason to cry, simply another reason to cherish the gift of presence in the present. It's becoming apparent if you can bear it, that nothing's more important than right now. The past is gone, the fastest time that I've ever seen drown in clouds was by my own doing, accruing perspective, respect and reflective, thoughts often directed, injecting fresh lessons, introspective curriculum, where meaning and reason conceive freedom. Words get to them from nonsense and concepts, and finally into reality, where complete disbelief is really the only casualty. Actually, is this pretense our greatest misunderstanding, that death is an ending, granted the wonderment spanning a set of finite points and a pattern that seems timeless. Violence, life, and silence from a mind that is vibrant. Peace.
So they explain here, a law barring foreigners from entering Israel if they back boycotts against the country is causing alarm among liberal American Jews and others who perceive an attempt to suppress critical political opinion. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's right-wing government has long campaigned against the Palestinian-led Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions Movement, BDS, describing it as anti-Semitic and an attempt to erase Israel's legitimacy. The movement, launched in 2005 as a non-violent campaign to press Israel to heed international law and end its occupation of territory Palestinians seek for a state, has gathered momentum in recent years, even if its economic impact remains negligible. On March 6th, Israel's parliament passed legislation saying any individuals or representatives of groups supporting BDS-type boycotts, excluding Israeli citizens and permanent residents, would be barred from the country.
In early May, Governor Dayton signed into law a bill that would ban state vendor contracts and investments in companies that boycott Israel.
North Carolina's General Assembly passed a bill yesterday against the BDS, Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions movement that seeks to delegitimize the state of Israel. The bipartisan legislation, like the one signed into law in Kansas yesterday, prohibits the state from working with companies who boycott Israel.
And now we have a signed piece of legislation.
The first bill of the session has officially cleared all hurdles.
Any anti-Israel policy is an anti-Texas policy.
Governor Greg Abbott signed House Bill 89 into law on Tuesday, prohibiting all state contracts and investments with companies that boycott Israel.
With all of the mainstream media's hysteria over the possibility that Russia may have influenced the election in some vague, undefined way, why doesn't that same media ask about the obvious, more destructive influence of other foreign countries? Specifically, I'm talking here about Israel and a recent move by Senator Chuck Schumer, which would take away the free speech rights of Americans to serve the interests of the Israeli government. That's really the only reason for this move. So this is a bill that's being pushed, was co-sponsored by Chuck Schumer, along with over 40 other U.S. senators, that would make boycotting Israel a felony.